This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tonight, an all-star Hollywood salute celebrating the 50th anniversary of the USO with President Bush and General H. Norman Schwarzkopf. Welcome home, America, tonight.
Straight ahead on Eyewitness News, 4 Carleton College co-eds speak out about alleged rapes and cover-ups. I'm Art Sassick. I'll have the story and the college's response.
Also today, a little boy goes on a weekend odyssey, and his mother fears he's been kidnapped.
Taxes, taxes, taxes. They are figuring up a storm at H&R Block. Plus, a really big night for the North Stars.
That's right. Join us. Eyewitness News coming up next.
Now's the perfect time to get your vehicle in shape.
For all those long vacation trips ahead. So look for spectacular savings throughout the automotive department this week at Mills Fleet Farm.
Save on the superior protection of Fram WearGuard oil filters. Most popular sizes, just 2 for $4.90. Or save on long-lasting Fram Extra Life air filters. Most popular sizes, only $3.39. Plus, our full line of top-quality Bendix brake pads, brake shoes, and master cylinders is on sale, too.
So exit here for savings.
Don't pass up the automotive savings spectacular now at Mills Fleet Farm.
This is a 92 KQRS $1,000 bumper sticker. It comes in your mailbox. When it does, stick it on your bumper. Then tune your radio to KQ92. That's 92.5 FM. And listen for your chance to win $1,000. That's how much we're putting up for grabs every single day. Watch your mailbox for the KQ92 $1,000 bumper sticker. Then listen every day for more chances to win $1,000. From 92 KQRS, Minnesota's home of classic rock and roll.
Can a new equity really save me money on a second mortgage, home equity loan?
I have had clients that are paying extremely high interest rates, and for no reason, because the company was trained to sell them that high interest rate, and they should have never been in that program. I could have saved them several $1,000s right up front by putting them in the right program.
Call a new equity. Mortgage brokers who work for you.
You're watching KSTP Channel 5, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Now, live from your 24-hour news channel, Stan Turner and the entire Eyewitness News team. This is Eyewitness News.
Allegations of rape and a cover-up at a Twin Cities college took a new turn today. Good evening, everybody. I'm Stan Turner.
And I'm Inga Hammond. 4 women who say they were raped while attending Carleton College spoke to the media this weekend for the first time.
And Art Sassy spoke with the women and officials from Carleton College, and Art joins us now from the Control Center. Art?
Well, Stan, the women are suing Carleton for at least $800,000 in damages, alleging that Carleton failed to protect them from the 2 known student rapists and then failed to properly handle the cases and discipline the rapists once the women came forward. But this is not a recent development. The attacks took place nearly 5 years ago in some cases, and both the women and Carleton have pursued this matter since 1989.
They had the power to spare us, and they had the responsibility to protect us, and they did nothing effective.
Julie Bauman says she suffered her rape 5 years ago. Amy Braddock says the same Carleton student raped her less than a year later. And then she found out he's been accused of raping others before.
I feel Carleton College is as responsible for my assault as the perpetrator.
It's one thing to allege rape. That's a very emotionally charged word. It's another thing to try to sort it all out and know exactly what occurred.
The Carleton officials say there's plenty they'd like to talk about concerning the women's rape allegations, but their lawyers won't let them.
We feel that very strongly that the appropriate place to try this lawsuit is in the courts and not in the media.
But the women say they've come forward because Carleton made the first move toward publicity, and they want Carleton to acknowledge its problems.
This has gone on for too long, and it's got to stop.
Chris Maxey and Karen McKinneran say another Carleton student raped them again within a year of each other, and again supposedly after school officials had prior knowledge of other rape allegations against that student. Like Amy, they went to the dean for help.
He persuaded us that the Carleton policy was the best thing for us to use.
We feel that these matters were handled the best way we knew how at the time, and in good faith.
The women claim that Carleton's good faith policy was set up for sexual harassment, not rape. and involved a grilling from an investigative panel of faculty and students.
Such as, why were you wearing men's underwear? I was wearing a pair of boxer shorts. How many times have you had oral sex? How far do you go on a first date? Did you like it?
These were not Star Chamber courts. These were students and faculty and staff, and these are caring people.
It happens across America at every campus, and Carleton College right now is being allowed to say it doesn't happen there when it really does.
Now, an interesting case, and one in which the outcome could decide what responsibility a college or university has toward protecting women before and after sexual assaults and rapes.
Art, when will we see this case in court?
Well, right now it looks like August. It could drag on. There could be a settlement beforehand, but right now August is our best bet.
All right, thanks, Art.
Thank you, Art. Well, it's every parent's nightmare. A child disappears without a trace. Happened to a Minneapolis mother last Friday, but today brings a happy ending. 1 o'clock this afternoon, a young boy's glove and toys lie outside the Lockoué home in northeast Minneapolis. Inside, the boy's mother shows us a picture of her 5-year-old son, Gary, who she fears has been abducted.
If they know where my son's at, please, I'm just hoping he's safe somewhere, and just to call the cops and wherever you can find him and just bring him home safe.
Friday afternoon, Gary and his brother were staying with a babysitter here along 18th Avenue South. They told the sitter they were going to play outside, but instead walked over to the 2700 block of 13th Avenue. Gary's brother said he wanted to go visit a friend in this neighborhood. Gary didn't want to go, so his brother just left him here. Gary hadn't been seen since then. 3 o'clock this afternoon, a police officer asked neighborhood kids if they've seen Gary. They say no, but they have seen kids hanging around this vacant house. The officer breaks in to look for the child, walks around inside with a flashlight, but there's no sign of him. Less than an hour later, 10 blocks away at the Little Earth housing development, Gary is spotted. Turns out he's been at a friend's house for the last 2 nights. Needless to say, his mother is relieved.
For 2 days of being missing, it was one relief off my back, and I'm just so glad we found him. I'm just so happy to see him.
Authorities say the vast majority of missing children cases end this way. They also say many of these situations could be prevented if parents would just make an extra call to confirm that their children are really spending the night at a friend's house. Well, police in the Netherlands have a double mystery to solve. That tops our look at news from around the world. Thieves tied up a guard and made off with 20 paintings from the Vincent van Gogh National Museum, but they left the paintings in a car abandoned at a train station. The museum says the paintings are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, more news from Europe, where Italian officials have their fingers crossed, hoping millions of gallons of oil won't leak out of this tanker. We showed you the burning tanker last night on Eyewitness News. Today, it's at the bottom of the Mediterranean. Investigators believe the tanker sank without rupturing and spilling its cargo.
American troops are packing up and pulling out of southern Iraq. Military officials say the last started to leave today, and they'll be replaced by a small United Nations force scheduled to arrive this week. And some Minnesotans who served in Operation Desert Storm are already home. Members of the Army Reserve 5501st U.S. Army Hospital greeted friends and family at the Twin Cities Airport last night. They've been stationed in Texas, serving in a backup medical unit. The balloons and the banners also came out last night for Sergeant Randy Wood. His company was one of the first to cross into Kuwait when the ground war started.
We usually wait until later in our newscast to talk about sports. But for the first time since 1985, the North Stars have a golden opportunity to win a playoff series. Eric Gislason just couldn't wait to tell us about it, so here he is.
Couldn't wait. Here we are. Inga Stan, the second-round playoff drought of 6 seasons could come to an end tonight at the Met Center, and it's a big if the Stars can beat the Chicago Blackhawks one more time. But no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Hawks defenseman Chris Chelios will play. There had been speculation that Chelios would be suspended for tonight's Game 6 because of an alleged eye gouging of North Star Brian Bellows last time out. But as you can see, Chelios practiced this morning and is all set to play tonight. This afternoon, the NHL announced that they will hold a hearing on the matter, but the league didn't say when. And until they do, Chelios has a green light to play. I'll have more on tonight's big game at the Sports Center later in sports, including some coach and player reaction to Chelios playing tonight. Interesting reaction.
This is like back in the early 80s. Remember that rivalry, huh? Woo.
Looking forward
Sell out
to
the whole works. Thanks, Eric. Coming up, news for you still. Oh, struggling with your taxes.
Like me. You may think you've been working hard, but consider the day these H&R Block employees are having doing other people's taxes. We'll hear from them and from a representative from the IRS. That's coming up next.
Okay, meat lovers, Here it is, the Domino's Pizza Pizza Feast. With pepperoni, sausage, ham, ground beef. Punch that phone, because it's also loaded with lots of cheese. You're hungry, so grab your phone.
It's time for Domino's Pizza. Yeah. For a limited time, get Domino's Medium Pizza Feast for only $8.99. Dial 835-3535 from anywhere in the metro area, or check the yellow pages for the store nearest you.
The Star Tribune, the newspaper of the Twin Cities.
Through the years, you've never let me down. You've turned my life around. The sweetest days I've found with you. Through the years.
From dishwashers to refrigerators, a KitchenAid will last.
Through the years.
KitchenAid appliances will last through the years, but these special values won't. Now, on selected models.
Through the years.
You shouldn't have to choose your oak furniture from catalogs. That's why at Thompson Oak, we keep thousands of pieces in stock, making everyone else's selection seem a little flat. Thompson, the biggest name in oak furniture. If the choices in oak furniture at your typical furniture store seem rather small, come to Thompson Oak. The selection here is huge. Thompson, the biggest name in oak furniture.
Less than 31 hours and counting. That's how much time there is left for those of you trying to meet tomorrow's midnight deadline for filing income taxes.
So little time, so many numbers, right? Well, that's right. If you're spending this Sunday figuring and factoring, folks, you are not alone, not at all. Procrastinating taxpayers are nothing new for the experts here at H&R Block. As the time winds down, their workload
We have
heats
a
up.
lot more new customers this year. I don't know if it was because of changes in tax laws or whatever, but a lot more complicated returns.
The offices of H&R Block will be open tomorrow for the last-minute rush for the deadline, and they're off.
And for those of you who are still laboring over your taxes, we brought in a little help to make it a little less taxing for you.
Oh, that's right. Bill Knight from the IRS joins us with some timely advice for those trying to beat the clock. Bill, if you just are one of those people who can't make the deadline, how do you go about filing for that old extension?
Well, Stan and Inga, you're going to be a very popular person tomorrow because a lot of people will be, I think, filing for the extension. We're estimating probably about 80,000 extension forms will be filed tomorrow. It's not that difficult a form to fill out. It's only about 6 lines long. Here is the key, however. You need to send along a check with that form. It's a paperwork extension. It's not an extension to pay any taxes that are due. So if you fill out the form, send along a check with it, get it postmarked, that will get you out of not 1 but 2 penalties and any interest on your unpaid taxes.
There are probably going to be a lot of people that are rushing to put it together before the deadline. What are some of the common errors that we might see to look out for?
Well, they're very typical errors, I think very human errors. If you're rushing to put it together, first of all, you do have some time. I would suggest get your income items together, get your expense items together, get out a copy of last year's tax form. That's a good guide for you. Put your return together. The next thing, take a break. Come back to it then with a fresh set of eyes. Maybe you can spot some of the problems, forgetting to put a figure on a line, the right figure on the wrong line. Of course, check over the math. That's another common problem that everybody has. Be sure to attach your W-2s and use that peel-off label. It's right on the front of the tax package. Put it on your tax return. That's the very last thing before you put it in the envelope.
Bill, what about IRAs? Is it too late to file one of those?
Well, no, it really isn't, Stan. That's one of the benefits of an IRA. You can take out an IRA tomorrow, make a contribution to it, and if you are not covered by a pension plan at work, you can reduce your taxes. Even if you are covered by a pension plan, I think an IRA is an excellent do-it-yourself pension plan. It's very easy to handle, and as I mentioned, it's one of the things that carries over after the end of the year.
Thank you, Bill.
Right.
Bill, you have done this before. Thank you for all that information.
Good talking with you.
I was taking notes
Yeah,
here.
it's true.
Well, if you still feel like you need a little extra help with your taxes, don't worry.
That's right, because it is available, folks. The IRS has set up some telephone hotlines to help you with your number crunching. Those of you living in the metro area can call 644-7515. There's also a toll-free number, 1-800-829-1040. Get it? Yeah. Those lines will not be open until tomorrow. They're closed today. We'll repeat these numbers a little bit later in the newscast.
Well, at least today's weather isn't distracting people from working on their taxes.
No, unless, of course, they wanted to go fishing like these folks out at Como Lake this afternoon. Will it rain on your Monday? Phil Schwartz has the forecast next, and then a new place to work out. It's not just the same old why.
Right now, during Truck Month, at your local Northland Ford dealer. It's the Dare to Compare $100 Test Drive Challenge. Compare Ford Ranger, Ford Explorer, Ford F-Series. Take them for a test drive. We're so confident you'll buy one of these Fords, we'll give you $100 if you buy a competitor's truck. It's the Dare to Compare $100 Test Drive Challenge. But hurry, this offer ends April 15th. See your local Northland Ford dealer for details.
There are plenty of reasons to keep a well-stocked medicine cabinet. Maybe you feel a cough coming on, perhaps a headache, or a runny nose, scratchy throat, back pain, sluggishness, sleeplessness.
For all your ills, we've got the tablets, droplets, syrups, ointments, capsules, sprays, powders, and pills. F&M, the good stuff, the right price.
Nausea, athlete's foot, menstrual cramps.
They look good.
They work good.
Have you got your pearls on? I bought these with a coupon and they gave me a second pair.
Oh, they got this thing. A guarantee.
Have you got your pearls on?
Sat on.
Whoa. And they fixed them for you, huh? Yeah.
She said no charge.
I got these Ray-Ban aviator sunglasses for $34.95.
Why just wear glasses when you can put on pearls?
Ray-Ban sunglasses, $34.95.
Pearl and Pearl Vision Express for glasses in 1 hour. Call 1-800-YES-EYES for locations.
Spring is on its way. The birds will sing, the flowers will bloom, the sun will shine. Or it could be cloudy, cold with blustery snow. In Minnesota, there's no telling what's going to happen at the start of spring. Correction, there is one way. Turn to Channel 5's Dave Dahl. His detailed and accurate forecast let you know whether to dig up your garden or dig up your parka. Dave Dahl and the people of Eyewitness News. On your side every hour on the hour and all night long.
This is about that time of year and this kind of a weekend where we're going to hear our friend Phil Schwartz say over and over again, we need the rain. Two-part harmony next time.
We do. That wasn't bad.
That wasn't.
We can work on that.
Good.
Yeah, well, we do need the rain. You know what we don't need is the snow. And we just missed it today. Some places.
How close was it?
About an hour and a half drive
close.
west of here. And even some sleet mixed in with the rain a little bit earlier today. So we did get some frozen precipitation in the Twin Cities, but boy, off to the west, they got a lot of snow. Check this out. This is out in Alexandria where they got about 5 inches of wet, heavy snow today. Some places as much as 7 inches, 5 inches in Litchfield, and the snow continues to fall mainly in northeast Minnesota. Look at that. That's the shovelable kind of snow. It stuck to the roads and really created some problems. Most of that has now ended throughout the Alex area and has moved off to the northeast. Extreme northern Minnesota could see as much as 7 inches of snow. Currently outside, what we have, 42 degrees, relative humidity 79%, winds out of the west at 14 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure is on the rise. High temperature today only got up to 44 degrees, 12 degrees shy of our average high. Low temperature this morning, 38. Look at that. In 1954, it was like last Saturday around here, 85 degrees. Precipitation today, we picked up 1/3 of an inch, and the sun is going to rise tomorrow morning at 6:29. Checking out radar, you can see all of the precipitation has moved out of the area. We'll get to that in just 1 minute, but Como Park today, people made the best of this afternoon. That's when the rain finally moved out of here. This lady decided to take a couple of dogs for a walk. Why not? With temperatures in the 40s, it really wasn't all that bad. Now let's go to radar, and we can see that there's just nothing showing up. The precipitation is now north of Brainerd, moving away from the Twin Cities. So if we do see anything tonight, it's going to be very light, and tomorrow's precipitation will be widely scattered. So for the most part, the next couple of days will be dry. Here's where that snow fell today. You can see it was plentiful from about Alexandria up towards Grand Forks and into the Arrowhead around Virginia. So far, only 2 inches in Duluth, but counting. St. Cloud, 1 inch, 5 inches in Alexandria. Got a few new amounts since I made this map. Litchfield, 5 inches of snow. About 2.5 inches now in Brainerd. In some places, especially in the Iron Range, could see about 6 to 7 inches of snow. Quite a system. You can see how the moisture streamed northward And now the next stream of moisture is heading up into sections of Missouri, but this area should stay off to our east as things are finally beginning to move, albeit slowly. We're finally getting this system off to the east. Here comes another system, so only a few scattered showers the next couple of days, and then this system could bring us some more significant precipitation along about Thursday. So the forecast for tonight does call for maybe a sprinkle or a flurry, nothing significant. Low temperatures, middle 30s. Waking up tomorrow, a lot of clouds, but it should be dry with a temperature of 37. As we go through the day tomorrow, it will be a little bit warmer with maybe a few showers in the afternoon, a few peaks at the sun, high temperatures, lower 50s. Tomorrow night, more clouds, low temperatures, middle 30s, and then on Tuesday, more of the same. More clouds than sun, but we'll get to see more sunshine than we'll see tomorrow. Maybe a few showers and high temperatures recovering into the middle 50s. Extended forecast. Wednesday looks like a real nice day, and then another cold rain moves in here on Thursday with high temperatures back into the 40s. So this week it looks like Tuesday and Wednesday will be the nicest days.
But we need the rain.
We need the rain. We got about 1.5 inches this weekend.
Well, good. And while we have the rain, you can find a new place to work out and keep fit. It is here at the Minneapolis' new downtown YMCA. At dedication ceremonies today, Y officials recognized the 7 Minneapolis churches who helped found the city's first Y 125 years ago. While they talked, others got down to business, working out on state-of-the-art exercise machines or swimming laps. National Y executives have declared this the finest YMCA facility in the U.S. Looks
nice.
good.
Well, straight ahead on sports, just who will get to wear the green jacket at the Masters of Golf in Augusta?
That's a good question.
It is, isn't it?
And also, we'll take you out live to the Med Center where the North Stars can clinch their North Division opener against the Hawks, who will have to work with the services of their star defensemen. Eric Islison skates in next with sports.
When you use the U.S. West Direct Yellow Pages, you can accomplish almost anything.
Yeah, we're taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. Taking care of business. It's all right. Taking care of business. Working overtime. Work out.
When there's work to be done, this is the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Most people assess the health of their lawn wrongly. This is the correct way, because it's the soil